Hello, what's up? My name's Kim in Houston. It's December 27th, 2 days after Christmas, which Christmas Day was the release of Django. I had been kind of following it for the past months, and I had seen interviews done by Jamie Foxx as well as Kerry Washington, and I was really intrigued about the movie. And I'm already a huge Kerry Washington and Jamie Foxx fan, so and Quentin Tarantino, so to put them all together in one movie made me really excited to have opportunity to go see it. So last night was the night I went see it, and I was really impressed with the movie. I was really impressed, number one, by the actual writing and the storytelling of how it all went down. To be able to combine the history and the horrific nature of slavery, but tell it from a perspective from not only from the slave side, but from the slave owner, from the people who are selling to the mobs who are trying to keep the races separated, and the whole different angles of each character and how they was involved in this whole horrific scene and this time of slavery. The way it was all being able to be told by Quentin Tarantino really was a testimony to his genius. I'm not gonna give any spoiler alerts because I want everybody to see it and to actually be as surprised about the movie as I was, and all the different angles, and not only be surprised, be excited how certain elements came together and how the story rounded out. Now let me tell you right now, the movie is 2.5 hours long, so get to the movie early, get you a comfortable seat, and just relax, and don't drink nothing because you will not want to go to the bathroom during the movie. The last 30 minutes of the movie I was very uncomfortable because I really needed to go to the bathroom really bad, but I was not getting up because I wasn't missing anything. So FYI, get comfortable, do not drink nothing because you do not want to go leave this movie to go use the bathroom. Okay, once you're in the movie, how it all starts off, you see them walk in and he's just being sold after running away, and you see the marks, you see him in the snow, and he's being pulled by all these slave owners who just purchased him after going through this horrific scene with him and Broomhilda. I don't think this is a spoiler alert, but they run away and they get caught, and once they get caught they are separately sold. So the movie starts off with Jamie just being sold. I think they're like in Greenville, Mississippi. So they walk from Greenville, Mississippi, and then he meets up with the guy, I don't remember his name, who's the German, who is the bounty hunter. And the bounty hunter comes up to them, and he is looking for Django because he knows that he's wanting to capture a couple of caretakers of some plantations because of some other stuff that they did, because he's a bounty hunter and he gets these rewards for dead or alive, back in the Western, kind of like 18, because it's a mixture of like the Western and also slavery in a Western kind of movie. So he finally meets up with them, and he goes up to him, and then you see how they are a lot more assertive and very aggressive, which is very different from a lot of the slavery movies that I've ever seen. And the German is very connected. He becomes very connected to Jamie Foxx. So he stays with him, and he in some ways befriend him. So here you have these two guys who are going through these towns and these areas in the United States who are looking for these fugitives and collecting their money and collecting the bodies as they're gonna turn in the body for their reward because it's dead or alive. And after he helps Jamie, and he says he have a moment where he tells him how he feels about slavery, and then when they actually finally help him, they decide to continue the partnership, because if Jamie helps the German to complete his season of bounty hunting, he's gonna help him to get Broomhilda. So they complete their scene, and in one of the scenes, which I thought it was very hilarious, which there is a surprise guest that you would never think in a million years is gonna be in this movie. But when you see him and the whole little scene that kind of takes place with him and the mob of, of angry white men who are, trying to get Jamie and the German. This whole little scene transpires that actually makes it funny. And the part that I loved about it, it challenged me emotionally, because I've never really watched a movie where it gives you a funny scenario about someone that you would normally feel very antagonistic towards. So if you were to see, especially me being a black woman, to see, a whole herd of white angry men who are out to get someone who's black, or, in a mob with the hoods, and you're gonna, I'm automatically gonna get a reaction. But it surprised me, and I'm so in awe of how Quentin Tarantino was able to put this together, because in the scene, as horrific and as challenging it is to watch, he made it funny. And this surprise character, it just tied it in very well. So the scene that could have been very traumatizing and heartbreaking turned out to be very funny, and how that worked. And I won't spoil alert, so I'll just leave it at that. When you get to the scene, you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, to move on, I also had an issue, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat this, considering the fact that this was in the movie. I think the movie is an excellent opportunity to open up dialogue for not only people of different races to speak about, but different generations. I actually had like a little, I guess he maybe was like 18, 19 years old, a little black guy him and his friend was sitting on the side of me, and I was hearing certain comments that they were making as they were watching the movie, as opposed to how I was feeling about some of this stuff. And they used nigga a lot. At first, it was, every time I'd hear it, it was kind of like a little sting. But then after a while, as I got into the movie and I got involved in what was going on with the characters and the storyline, it fit so well. I didn't forget that it was there, but it kept into context of what the movie was. So I was no longer feeling the stings of it, because I got it. I absolutely loved the movie. I definitely want to see it a couple more times, because there's so much that's going on. It's easy to get caught up in one scene and miss out on something else. So I definitely have to see the movie again in order for me to tie in and fill in some additional gaps that I still have. I don't know if I mentioned Sam Jackson, but I'll say it again. Sam Jackson was awesome. I don't think anybody else could have played that role the way he did and be able to generate that much emotion and tie it into the actual storyline and the historical context of who he was and what he was doing. It just tied it in all really, really well together. Kerry Washington, awesome, excellent. She didn't have as many speaking scenes that I would have liked, but her emotional connection and she seemed in the movie, she was the element that tied all of it in together to make it all work, to give the whole movie like this really urgent sense of purpose. Leo, I forgot it was Leonardo DiCaprio. He was so great and engaging as Mr. Candy. The way he told the story, his emotional attachment, his connection to the story, and what his purpose was, and I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved it. I would love to go on and on and on about it, but I'm afraid if I continue to do that, it'll be some big spoiler alerts. So I'm gonna sign off, and I hope you have a chance to go ahead and watch it. Watch it once, twice, 3 times. Excellent movie. Excellent movie. I look forward to seeing it at the Oscars. Jamie, even Sam Jackson, definitely Quentin Tarantino for the directing, story writing, the music, how it all, certain songs came in at these awesome and these very powerful times. Awesome movie. Check it out. Highly recommended. Django.